Good morning. How are you guys today? Um, I had some free time on my hands, so I decided to just share with you guys how my morning went. I woke up kind of earlier than usual this morning, about 5 something, I think, maybe a little bit earlier. Um And it was, usually I wake up, may have to use the restroom or something, and I get back in the bed, go to sleep till, my alarm goes off. But today was different. Today like I said, I woke up a little earlier and just could not go back to sleep. Um, so usually when I can't go back to sleep, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, I'll get on online and look at inspirational videos, maybe some, or listen to some inspirational music or gospel music, or preaching or encouraging word, or just encouraging videos or inspiring videos, or feel good videos, something to just put me in a happy mood or whatever. It's this page on, well, not page, channel on YouTube that um I tune into from time to time, and I haven't watched it in a while. I haven't been doing a lot of video watching in a while, but I was watching this morning and came across a video of this particular channel. I believe he was giving gifts to his wife's family that had passed recently, and I believe one of the people that he gave a gift to was, I believe it was her sister. And so, after he had gave her the gift, everybody was saying how much they love the gift or whatever. And she just, she got really emotional and just started crying. And the cry that she let out, when I say, I don't know if this may make sense to anybody, but the cry was so familiar. The sound of the cry, the pain in the cry, the hurt in the cry. It was very familiar for me. It sounded too familiar for me, actually. And the next thing I know, like, a whole ball of emotions just started flooding up. So, the thing is, I lost my sister. January is the month that I lost my sister, and I lost her to cancer in 2017. Number one, the biggest lie I feel like people tell people when they lose somebody is that it gets better. Hang in there, it gets better. That's one of the biggest lies. That's one of the biggest lies that people tell. And I really wish they would stop telling people that it gets better. It doesn't get better. It never gets easier. Over time, I think your body learns to survive with the grief, but you don't ever get over the grief. And it doesn't get better. The feeling, you don't wake up one morning and then there's an automatic fix and you're just like, hey, I'm better, the grief is over. That's not how it works. That's not how grief works. And for anybody who tells you that that's how it worked for them, they're lying. I will say that, there's different ways for people to grieve. I will say that people grieve differently, but, grief is a process, and it's a long process, and it's one that never goes away. You're going to have your good days. You're going to have, a few good days. You might even have a little stint where every day is just cool. You chill. You having productive days. You're having productive moments. But there are going to be days. There are going to be a lot of days where you just don't want to be bothered. You don't feel like being bothered, or you just can't seem to get it together, shall I say. And for me, this morning was one of those mornings, and it literally ended up with me on the side of my bed, crying my eyes out, like, she just passed yesterday. I mean, when I tell you the tears was up, I haven't cried that long in a while since she passed. And it was just, it was just I just have these spurts, these moments of grief, and these spurts of grief where, I can be totally fine one minute, and then the next minute I'm just like a ball of tears. And that's just one of the things that happened this morning. I literally, I just could not seem to bring myself to get myself together. It took me a while. I think it probably took me about a good hour to just get to the point where I was able to do something else other than cry, because I literally just sat on the bed, on the side of the bed, and just bawled my eyes out, because that's what I needed in that moment for whatever reason. I can't explain exactly, other than the fact that I was watching this video and the familiarity in her cry just kind of did something to me, and it just brought up a whole flood of emotions, and things just kind of progressed from there. And I just wanted to come on, excuse me, I'm sorry, I just wanted to come on. As y'all can tell, I don't do a lot of videos like that, especially long ones, because I'm me, I guess, and I'm not this person that can, have this picture perfect face and picture perfect look for a long period of time and and just put on the whole, the whole production shebang. So you got about 2-3 good minutes of straight video from me, and then it ain't no telling what you're gonna get. So forgive me, don't come for me, don't do that. But yeah, I just felt the need to share it with somebody, because, people grieve differently. And I feel like sometimes people have a habit of trying to force people into getting over grief very quickly, or forcing people to get over grief quicker than, they're ready to. And it's like, sometimes I feel like, they don't mean any harm by it. And, they probably mean it with the best intentions, not realizing how strong of a hold grief tends to have on people. And, I just wanted to share that experience, because, somebody might need to hear that, they're not alone in how they feel in their grief, or they're not the only one who's still dealing with grief after losing someone for a certain amount of time or whatever, or, just feeling bad for not being able to move past a certain point of your grief. Like, your grief is your grief, and your journey is your journey. Your grief process is your grief process. Like, nobody can tell you how fast or how slow to grieve, or how quick you should be over this, or how quick you should be over that. Like, everything happens in its own timing. And, just give yourself grace. Give yourself grace on the days where things are a little bit harder for you, or your grief is a little bit more overwhelming than usual. Give yourself some grace, and don't be so hard on yourself as far as, why am I still, acting this way over? Like, it's life. Life happened to you. You know what I'm saying? Something life-changing happened. And you are entitled to every bit of grief that you have. You are entitled to every moment that you need to get yourself together, to get your mind together, to get your thoughts together. If you need to have a cry day where you just sit in that house or wherever in your PJs with a good movie, a good book, a good, some good music, some good comforting food, do what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? Life is still going to be life, and when you done, do what you need to do to be okay for you mentally and physically and spiritually and emotionally. And sometimes, the grief process calls for those pause days. And those pause days are literally you pressing the pause button and just stepping back from whatever life requires of you at that moment, and say, I need to take this time to get myself together in this moment. And that is okay. It's okay. It happens to the best of us. It happens to all of us at some point in time. And if you haven't experienced it, I pray to God that you never have to. But grief is real. It's a real process. It's a normal process. It's a normal process of life. Don't expect everybody's grief to look the same, because it doesn't. So don't feel like you should be grieving this way because you see somebody else doing it that way. You do what you need to do for you. As long as you're not hurting yourself or hurting anybody else, you do what you need to do to grieve and heal and get better. For everybody out there who has experienced losing a loved one, somebody that they adored, losing a loved one does not have to be somebody who's blood related to you. It's literally anybody who's held a special place in your heart, and who you've been close to, and things of that nature. For everybody out there who's experienced that type of loss, I am so very sorry, and I'm definitely going to keep you in my prayers. And I pray that you find that peace on the inside, that you find that calmness on the inside, and that you have a healthy grieving process, and that you allow yourself the time and the space to grieve. And I also pray that you're surrounded by individuals who will allow you that space to breathe and grieve, shall we say. So and if you don't have anybody in your life that allows you that space, then you are more than welcome to come hang out over here with me on my channel and send me some questions, or what have you, whatever you need. If I can answer it for you, or if I can help you through it, I'll definitely try to do my best. In the meantime, in between time, be good to yourself and take care of yourself. Talk to you later. Bye.